Welcome back. Well, more international agreements being signed. It's a busy week diplomatically here in South Africa. South Africa and France yesterday entering into an agreement to help improve the cyber forensic capabilities of the Special Investigating Unit. To find out more about how this could help anti-corruption agencies, we're joined by Prashaen Reddy, a partner at the Kearney consultancy. Prashaen, good evening to you and thank you for your time. We're seeing a real increase in cyber attacks, people doing all sorts of things using cyber crime to try and make money. It's a fast-moving space. How important is it for countries to work together to counter this?
Absolutely. So we've recently done a piece of research around cyber security in Africa. The paper that focuses on this is really about a call to action for the region as in Africa to collaborate to actually, deal with the threats of cybersecurity. South Africa alone had close to 300 attacks last year in various types of forms. And really what we've seen in other parts of the world, be it in Asia or in Europe, is the close coordination of countries to share intelligence, to have a central set of policy and strategy and planning around cybersecurity. And essentially, we do have that body in Africa and in the African Union. And there have been some advances in the space, but not enough collaboration between countries in order to ensure that we deal with these threats in the most effective way. And we've seen high internet penetration rates within the continent. We expect to have about close to 90% in 2023 within the context of Africa. Well, that will mean more opportunity for cybercrime, and we were going to need greater cooperation across the continent to deal with this.
We've seen credit agencies here being hacked, hospitals and oil pipelines in the United States being hacked. It seems to happen everywhere. There's some suspicion that some hackers even have the support of some governments. I don't know if that's true or not. Is it really possible to protect yourself from this?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the same level of technology that is being used to attack, various organizations, there are, of course, countermeasures from a technology perspective that can be put in place. Certainly that we can even use the elements of analytics and artificial intelligence in the other way, where we can try to predict some of these attacks. We can understand where the loopholes might lie to ensure we have the adequate protections in place to deal with this. And there's many solutions and technologies now that have been developed to allow us to do that.
We see everyone talking about artificial intelligence at the moment. You can use that, I presume, to protect yourself. But I imagine hackers can use artificial intelligence as a weapon too.
Yeah, absolutely. That's on the rise. I think artificial intelligence as a whole has been used for good and for maybe not so good purposes at the moment. It can definitely be used to identify, weak points within a certain infrastructure. It can be used to, present itself. We've seen videos and pictures as well as audio being artificially created of real people, where those people's personas have been used to provide certain types of messaging and fake messaging at that. So yes, certainly that artificial intelligence could be a way that is used to potentially gain access to various organizations, and we need to be aware of the potential science.
So obviously it's important then to try and work out who does this, and that's partly what this agreement that's been signed between France and our SIU is about. But it must be very difficult to actually track down the actual human beings, the individuals who benefit from this hacking, who actually make it happen.
Yes and no. I mean, systems all over the world leave footprints, and you can certainly have the ability, if you've got the right tools, coordination, information sharing, and intelligence sharing across countries, borders, and organizations. I think you can certainly, begin to track and identify where the root cause are of some of these attacks, which is why coordination and information sharing becomes so critical, and having the platforms to do that. And the challenge we have within the African context is we don't have a lot of that information sharing. We don't have a lot of that intelligence being gathered and shared across. And the platforms to collaborate and cooperate across countries is important. Africa becomes a soft target in that way, in that we do not have those kinds of measures and mechanisms in place to help us coordinate a more effective response.
Prashaen Reddy, thank you, partner at the consultancy Kearney. Really appreciate the time on the Pulse tonight.